Hi everybody, welcome to Infinity Bottle Evolution. I am your host EJ here with yet another video exploring our Infinity Bottle. Now today's video we are working with our 8 Bourbon Infinity Bottle, which is a blend that I started a couple weeks ago. This one is anything but bourbon. Anything in the whiskey category in my cabinet that's not bourbon is going in this bottle. We're going to be working on it a little bit today. So when we did the initial build on the last video, I did try it. I tried about a ½ ounce sample and it needs some work. Definitely needs a little bit of love here. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great. Morgan Null, you're out there watching. You have a sample of this version. We're going to go ahead and sample it. Talk a little bit about it, but I kind of have a couple ideas here today of what I want to do with this. I also have a few samples that were sent by some of our viewers that will be mixing in the mix here. Some are we're going to talk about. Others we're going to do a blind tasting on one. We're going to reach back into a couple products potentially that are already in this bottle, so that way we can start to change the profile a little bit here. So let's talk about the makeup currently. As of right now, this is sitting at about 13 days old. This bottle is, well, now it's 16.5 ounces. It was 17, but I just poured myself a ½ ounce. The proofage, we're looking at 98.1 currently, so pretty good proof. There's 9 different spirits in the mix. The largest makeup of the bottle is Pinhook Rye. There's about 21% of the bottle, about 3.5 ounces currently sitting there in the bottle. Second place, we have Mellow Corn. 16% of the bottle is Mellow Corn, roughly about 2.6 ounces. Then we have the remainder is about 10% across the board, about 1.7 ounces of all the other spirits that we have in the mix there. And then about 3% moonshine in the mix. So, you know, it's got some things going on, but I definitely want to start changing it, addressing some of the things that I want this bottle to do. I do need to get myself some Scotch and some Irish whiskeys, some Canadian whiskeys to work into this bottle, but right now my cabinet is overloaded. I just can't stop buying bourbon. I can't stop finding things and buying things, and it's a little out of hand. But anyways, let's see what we got on the nose. So I get rye. I definitely get a lot of rye in there. A little bit of sweetness. It's got like this little faint amount of woodiness to it, but it's mostly sort of a rye thing, which makes sense because the majority of this bottle is made up of rye at this point. I would say probably about 75% of the bottle is rye. So let's see what the flavor profile's done. Honestly, this pour was a lot better than when I initially poured it. I poured it, I think it was the day after I put the bottle together. And it just didn't speak to me, but this is pretty good. It's got a lot of rye spice to it. The finish is almost a little American. Yeah, just a lot of rye spice. Once again, my palate for rye is not as developed as my bourbon palate, so I'm not going to sit here and try to do a lot of tasting notes on this, but it definitely is tasting rye-like. But just the same, like I said, I want to start changing this. I don't want this to be just a rye bottle. I want there to be some other things in the mix, as there are, but I want some of those other things to really start working into the flavor and playing with the profile a little bit. All right, so let's start with some things that we're just gonna add before we get into a blind tasting. We're gonna revisit, based on what I'm trying today, we're gonna revisit something that's already in this bottle and something that I absolutely positively love. Barrell. Barrell Whiskey Infinite Barrel Project. We talked a lot about this one last time, so I'm not going to go too crazy on it today. But I really like this bottle. I like that it's pretty unique. I like that it's got a lot of things going on. I added 2 ounces initially in my initial video, but I am going to add another 2. So I'm obviously putting a good dent in this bottle, but a big part of why I bought this bottle was particularly to work with my Infinity bottles. Plus, I was curious. I was very curious what Barrell was doing with their products. But I'm going to start slowing down on consuming this bottle because you can see we've put a nice little dent in it. But that's another 2 ounces in the mix. The cool thing about this is it's got Tennessee... It's got spirits distilled in Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, Scotland, Ireland, and Poland. So it's definitely got some scotchiness to it. No doubt about that. So I think that's part of the reason I wanted to add a couple more ounces of this into the mix. Sticking with the theme of non-rye based things, let's go ahead and add a little bit more Michters. I really like this American whiskey. I think it's pretty solid. It's honestly the only bottle of Michters in my cabinet. I don't have any of the rye. I understand their rye is phenomenal. But the American is really good. I really like it. Let's go 1.5 ounces of this. So, as always, I'm going to ask you guys, if you're out there and you have an Infinity bottle going, get in touch. We'd love to trade some samples. We'd love to try your juice. We'd love to add some of your juice to our Infinity bottle. We also love to trade not just Infinity bottles, but we love to trade spirits that we haven't tried. So with that said, got one here in front of me. Now, this came from our friend Squirrely Man out in Texas. I'm not going to sip this today. I'm going to save this for myself to sample off camera because this is the first time I'm having this product. But this is a sample of West Campfire. And I've heard great things about West. From what I understand, West is a blender who blends different products. And I think I recall seeing West that this was a blend of bourbon, rye, and scotch, possibly. I could be mistaken, but I'm very interested to try this, and I don't want to try it on camera because I want to really sip it and enjoy it, and I don't know when or if I'll have this again. So what we're going to do as far as the add is I'm going to go ahead and add 1 ounce in the mix. Thank you again, Squirrely Man. Really appreciate the fact that we've started a little bit of a trade of non-Infinity products, and I know you're working on sending me another package, and I'm going to be sending you one. And the beauty in doing trades, right, is that I'm going to have different things that I can add into the mix here. So West Campfire, we are putting 1 ounce of that into the bottle here today. All right, now this bad boy, this is another one that's a blind test. This is from Broken Kevin up in New York, we've done he sent me 4 blind samples, and we've had a little bit of fun with this, he and I. And this one he advised me not to put into my Infinity bourbon bottle, that the other 3 samples we've already done in our Infinity bourbon bottle series. But this one he did tell me was going to make more sense in a non-bourbon bottle. With that said, we're going to add 1 ounce, and we are going to taste the rest on camera here. Now, based on what I know of Kevin's cabinet, there's 2 things that I think this could potentially be, based on a list that he's sent me. So we're going to make a guess. I have a 50-50 chance of getting it right. But once again, they're non-bourbon products. This is sample C from Broken Kevin. Thanks again, Kevin. Really appreciate the fact that we're trading. We'll have to get another round going now that I just finished the last sample from you. Okay. That's different. It's got like a sweetness to it, but it's a sweetness that I can't quite put my finger on. It's almost like maybe like a molasses. But it's got a spice in there too, and I can't quite determine the spice note. It doesn't seem overly proof heavy. It doesn't seem... It's not very woody. It's different. I'm not even gonna slaughter trying to put notes on this. But let's go ahead. I get like in the sweetness, like almost like a Pez. Yeah, Pez. Very, very different. All right, let's see what we got. Oh wow. That's really different. That's it's very easy to sip, very crushable. It's sort of quick. I definitely get, once again, a candy sort of sweetness. I'm thinking maybe even a little bit more sweet tart than Pez. Okay, so there's two things this could be. This could be Sugar Shine Revenge, or this could be Copperhead Buckwheat Whiskey. I'm going to guess Sugar Shine Revenge. I'm totally blind here. You could see that the color profile here is nice and light. Compare it to something like this bottle here. You can see, much lighter color. Compare it to an American. We can definitely see that the American has a darker profile. Compare it to that High West that we just poured in. It's a little lighter. It's hard to see on camera, but it's definitely a light profile. I'm going to stick with the Sugar Shine Revenge as my guess with this. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's different. It's definitely the sort of thing that I would like to have something like that in my cabinet, just to mix things up. All right, one more today, guys. So what else we have here is another one from our friend Squirrely Man down in Texas. This is his moonshine. So this is a moonshine that he personally made. It would be nice if I added that last spirit into the actual bottle. All right, so Squirrely Man sent me a little of his moonshine. I believe he made this himself. I don't know how moonshine is made. Probably need to do some research into that myself and maybe make my own little batch of moonshine. So I don't really keep too much moonshine in the house. It's something that I don't like. I'm not, usually interested in sipping on a moonshine, but just a little something, just a little taste. Now what I'm going to do with this, Squirrely Man, I have another batch of homemade moonshine from a friend of mine, a friend of a friend. I'm going to add this to that, and I'm going to turn that into a tincture product. So this remainder will be moving on to a whole nother life in the near future here. But I got a lot of wheat in that. A lot of wheat. Bottoms up. Wow, that's good. I could sip this. I could pour this over a cube and just sip this. I mean, it's not complex. It's not gonna take the place of a bourbon or a whiskey. But I think this is very solid. I've had plenty of moonshines in my day that I'm like, ugh, age that, do something with it, because I'm not drinking that. But this is good. And if there's one thing I know about Squirrely Man, he likes the high proofers. I don't know what the proofage is on that bad boy, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good juice. Please share some details down below, Squirrely Man, if you watch this video. Share some makeup of what's in this, so we can kind of be in the know. But let's go ahead and put a half ounce of that in the mix. So I'm hopeful that what we did today, between the new additions that we've added, as well as the increase of proportion in a few spirits that I particularly like, I'm hopeful that this bottle has now developed a little bit. The thing I like about where we are now is we're starting to get closer to the neck, which I tend to like. This is a bottle that I won't be exploring a whole lot. This is a bottle, because I don't buy a lot of non-bourbons, but this will probably monthly or so, we'll revisit this bottle. We'll do a little bit of an addition, a little bit of a flavor check, and keep it moving. If you're out there, I mentioned it earlier, I'm going to mention it again. If you have an Infinity bottle going, we'd love to be in touch with you. We'd love to trade some samples. I have this bad boy. I have my Infinity bourbon bottle going, which is getting up there. It's got about 40 different spirits in it. And then we also have the Infinite Infinity bottle, which is still in the build phase right now. But that's a bottle that I want to have some of your juice so I can taste it, and I can add it to the Infinite Infinity bottle. Once that I get this to a place where I'm a little bit more happy with it than I was last time, is when I'm going to add some of this to the Infinite Infinity bottle as well. And what the Infinite Infinity bottle is, simply an infinity bottle made up of samples of different individuals' infinity bottles. That one mostly whiskey based, but we've started to see drips and drabs of rum, of liqueur, of gin being added into that mix. So that bottle is going to be interesting. But point being, if you have an Infinity bottle going, get in touch. We'd love to get some representation from yourself and your particular blend here on our channel. If you have the ability to, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification bell so that way you get those updates every time we do new videos, which we try to do weekly. Like our video, share it if you feel so inclined. Comment down below. Most importantly, guys, this is all about community. It's all about whiskey. This is all about rare bottles, right? This is all about, like, keep your Pappy 23. It's a rare bottle. Keep it, because this is rarer. And I like that. I like unique. I like different. I like things that are one of a kind. And I'm really excited to continue to work on this project and really bring this bad boy to a place where it's very enjoyable. And I'm fairly confident that some of these additions today are going to greatly help the flavor profile of this bottle. So anyways, thanks everybody for watching. Once again, you know what to do. Get in touch. Stay blending out there. Blend the pain away. Till next time, drink responsibly, enjoy yourselves. Peace.